Hello students, in last session we have started with functions in Python. Today's topic is variable scope and lifetime. Variable scope means visibility of variables. That is, part of the program in which that particular variable is accessible. And we can access that variable in part of the program. That is called as the scope of the variable. And lifetime of the variable is duration for which that variable exists. So in today's session we'll see what is the scope of the variable means and what is the lifetime of the variable means. So types of variables are local variables and global variables. We'll start with local variables. Local variable means the variable that is declared inside a function or a method. Variable that is defined or declared and used inside the function. Local variables are accessible only within that particular method or a function. We cannot access that variable outside that function or a method. As it is declared inside the function, we can only use it within the function. We cannot access it outside the function. If we will try to access that variable, that is local variable, outside the function or a method, it will give us error. So we'll see this example. Here in this block, we have defined a function. Name of the function is func1. And here we are calling that function. Now we'll see what we have written inside a function definition. In function definition, as it starts with def, we have assigned one value to variable x. That is x is equal to 100 we have written. We are trying to print that value. We are trying to print inside the function x is equal to that particular value. So once we'll execute this program, we'll get the output as inside the function x is equal to 100. That is, we are not passing any parameter to the function, we are directly calling the function. After going to inside this function, we are assigning a value to x as 100 and we are printing that x is equal to 100. Simple. So output is inside the function x is equal to 100. Now we'll see one more example. Here again same type of function is written. Same function we have used as that of the previous case. That is x is equal to 100 and print inside the function x is equal to so and so. Now here we are calling the function same way we have done it in last example. Now we are again trying to print this x value. So if we will try to execute it, it will give us an error here. Name error, that is x is not defined. That is variable x is not defined. Why? Because here x we have declared inside this block of a function. That is body of this function. As x is defined or declared inside this function, we cannot access this variable outside this definition. This is called as a local variable. This x is a local variable. It is only accessible within this function. Now what is a global variable? Global variable means the variable that is defined in a main body, that is outside all the functions. In main program, if you are defining that variable, then it is called as a global variable. So they are available throughout the life of the program. Throughout the program, we can use those variables. They can be accessed from any part of the program. That is, we can access them inside a function, outside the function, as those variables are written as a global or in a main body. So we'll see example of a global variable. X is equal to 100 is written before the function definition. So function is defined here and before it we are assigning a value x over here. So this is called as a global variable. Value is assigned as 100. Function definition is written over here, and we are trying to print inside the x, inside the function x is equal to. Same way we have done it in the previous case. Now here 2 times this function is called. So in func1 as we are calling, this is also called as a function call. Both these are function calls. So once we are calling the function, and once this function is called, execution will go inside the function definition and it will try to print inside the function x is equal to. So inside the function x is equal to means as x is defined outside the function globally, this value will be printed here, that is 100. Now once this outside the function x is equal to is executed, so as x is the global variable, again here also outside the function x ka value will be retained same as 100. Now we'll see where the local and global variables are used. Both the variables we have used here. We'll start with the first statement. We have written a is equal to 0. As it is written before this function definition, it is a global variable. So we are assigning a value. Now we are checking. Condition is if x is equal to 0. If a is equal to 0, then we are assigning b to the value 1. So as a is equal to 0, this is true. B will be assigned to 1. Now after this, execution will go outside to the next line here. Here we are calling the function. This is just a function definition. This function definition will be executed once we are calling that function. So once this is executed, cursor will go to the next line here after this block of the function definition. What we are doing here, we are calling the function. Name of the function is my function, and we are passing a value 7. So execution will go to the definition here. In variable c, we will receive this value 7 here. Now we are assigning one value to variable d. This is a local variable as it is used inside this block of the function. So d is equal to 3. We are trying to print value of c and value of d. Value of c is 7 and value of d is 3. It will be printed. So now a and b are still global variables. Here we have used both the variables outside this block of the definition, function definition. So once we'll try to print a is equal to and b is equal to, it will print value a is 0 and b is equal to 1. Now for these two lines, we are trying to print value of c and value of d. Now if you check c and d, both these variables are local variables to this function. We cannot access these two variables outside this function body. So these two lines will give us an error. You can just check this code, type this code and execute. These two lines will give us error. Now, one more example on local and global variable. X is assigned globally to value 100. In function definition, we are assigning x to 200 and we are displaying inside the function x is equal to. And then we are calling and printing outside the function x is equal to. So we'll see how this program will be executed now. So it will start with the first line x equal to 100. So 100 is assigned to variable x. Then execution will go here as after this block of the function definition. Function 1 is called here. So execution will go to this line. We are assigning the value 200. So now x is already 100. We are again assigning this value 200 to a variable x. And then we are printing inside the function x is equal to. So once we are calling this function, x is equal to 100 is assigned, 200 is assigned. So inside the function it will display value is 200 as it is assigned locally. Now cursor will go to the next line, execution will go to the next line. What we are doing here? We are printing outside the function x is equal to. This value 200 is assigned inside the function, that is locally. Outside the function, value of x is still 100. So when this line is executed, output will be outside the function x is equal to 100. So inside the function, as it is locally assigned 200, so it will display x is equal to 200. Outside the function, as globally the value is 100, so it will be 100 over here. Now value of x is 200 only inside the function body that we have seen here. It is not going to override the value 100 that is defined, this is assigned globally. So global value will be printed outside the function, and if we are assigning a value inside the function, it will be only locally for that particular function. Now if we want to override that value, the same example that we have seen in the previous example case, we want to override that value for the complete program, then what we have to do? We will start with x is equal to 100. So we will see the execution of this code. X is equal to 100 is assigned. This is function definition. So cursor will go to the execution, will go to this function call. So once this function call is executed, again execution will go to the function definition, inside the function definition. What we are doing? We are declaring this variable x as a global variable, and then we are assigning x is equal to 200. So global x means we are saying that the same variable that is globally declared or assigned, we are using it inside this function. So this 200 value will be overwritten over here in the 100 as a variable of x. So same variable x, that is global variable, we are using it here inside the block of the function. That's why we have used the keyword as a global over here. So here we are assigning a value, new value we are assigning, that is 200, and we are trying to print inside the function. Inside the function x is equal to, it will display 200. Now once this function is executed, cursor will go to the next line, and here we are printing outside the function x is equal to, what is the value now? As it is overwritten, so it will display 200 over here. Now one more example on local and global variables. So we have started with the function definition. So value is x is equal to 100. We are assigning globally. We are calling the function. Once this function is called, it will display inside the function x is equal to, value is 100, so it will be printed 100. Again cursor will go, execution will go here and display outside the function x is equal to again 100. Same case that we have studied in previous. Now we'll see what is the difference now. Now we have studied global keyword. So we have started from here. We are writing x is equal to 100. We are calling the function. Once this function is called, what we are doing? We are using global keyword. So same value we are trying to access over here, and we are displaying inside the function x is equal to, so we want x as a 100. So now x is assigned to a new value, and we are printing inside the function reassigned value of x is 200. So it will display x is equal to 200. Outside that, we are displaying outside the function x is equal to, as it is overwritten, it will display outside the function x is equal to 200. If now will not use this word global, it will give us an error. that is local